a good friend of mine, Neale. Nick has been a SightRight coach for a few years now, and I met him quite a few years back when he came to me with problems with his game. There's been quite a story for Nick over the last few years. And the reason we've got him on the call this morning is because yesterday the WDBS announced Nick as their player of the season for his group, which was absolutely awesome. In fact, it wasn't for the group, was it? It was for the whole of the WDBS, Nick.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
So how did you feel when that announcement was made, Nick?
Well, to be honest with you, Matt Hewitt let me know a couple of days before, but he told me to keep it hush. So I had to, obviously. Yeah, it's a bit of a shock because, like I said, I never thought that I'd be in a position to play snooker again because, like, you know, I've had a lot of scars and like what has happened to me. So yeah, it was a massive shock. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like you to take us through your journey if you wouldn't mind. But before we get there, this is a huge congratulations for me. You've always made me feel really, really proud of you. But what's lockdown been for you like for the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I mean, I think for the whole of the country, not just for myself. I mean, it's been very, very difficult, but I'm pretty lucky because when I decided to come back to play snooker, my girlfriend and my dad urged me to try and get a snooker table at the bottom of my garden, which I was lucky enough to have the room, so I can come down when I'm a bit bored and, you know, practice and whatever. And, you know, I'm lucky as well because I keep myself fit. to do a lot of running as well. I've done that long before I was playing snooker. So, yeah, it is tough, but, you know, I just keep myself occupied as much as I can.
So some good exercise and resorting to the home practice on your home table, that's a pretty good privilege, hey?
I'm lucky, yeah. I'm one of the lucky ones, like I said. I mean, like I said, I had a table when I was young, but it wasn't the greatest. But this room that I've had built now is, you know, I really enjoy practicing in here, yeah.
Cool. I mean, how many hours a day do you practice, would you say?
I'm not one for. I'm a strong believer. I don't know what you feel about it. I think you can over practice. So maybe 2.5 hours a day, probably 5 days a week, and have a couple of days off.
Yeah.
So I don't try and overly do it if I can.
So you know the right things to practice, don't you?
Yes, well, most certainly, because I think, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Let's take ourselves back then over a few years. When you first came to me, wow, you were a man in pieces. But can you cast your mind back? What was that first session like for you?
Horrible. Yeah, it was a big shock to the system for me because being so long out from the game and then knowing when you pick a cue back up that you feel that you're doing something wrong. And then first seeing you and you putting me on the line, it felt so very wrong, but right, if you know what I mean. So it was a very big change because, like I says, when I first picked up a snooker cue, I had two eyes.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, to be that far offline and kind of being amazed by, you know. It was hard to put into words, really. It was a shock. You know?
It was fascinating, wasn't it? Because the age of 15, you lost sight in your left eye, yeah?
Yes, correct. Yeah, 15 in a snooker tournament, yeah.
Yeah, and that was a detached retina, wasn't it? So it left sight only in your right eye.
Yes, yeah.
And to help people, I think it's quite good to help people understand. You're a left-handed player with no sight in your left eye, and yet you were using practices to set yourself up online using your left leg and lining up through your left leg, weren't you? And I remember that wow experience that you had when I showed you how offline you were sighting in your pre-shot routine. But I remember that first session very well because it was quite an emotional day for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, because you know we all have ambitions in life too. When you first pick a cue, like yourself, when you was playing, you want to be the best you can be and believe that you could be a professional snooker player one day.
Yeah.
So, I felt that I was going to be a professional snooker player. But when I come and saw you, yeah, it was emotional because, like, you don't, you've been brought up from a kid, especially because I saw Frank Callum when I was a kid, that he was left leg or right leg online, and to have something shown like that, what you've got, it just blew me away.
Yeah. It was a special session, and I'll never forget it. And I think your journey since has been quite remarkable, hasn't it? Look, aside to you becoming a SightRight coach, an accredited SightRight coach for us, you've achieved some incredible things, haven't they? Would you mind telling us what you've achieved?
Yeah, well, when I come back from you and started the sight right exercises, it was very difficult to start. But yeah, I've had around about 18 147s now in practice. I've had one in a game.
18. 18.
18, yeah, 18 now, yeah, silly really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and decided to join the World Disability. I've not been beaten in over 2 years in any of the tournaments. I've got the icebreaker in the WDBS.
Yeah.
Obviously, now they've come out with these rankings. I'm official world number one. And then obviously I've joined the seniors, and I've only been in the seniors a year and a bit, and I'm number 39 in the world there. So, it's not a bad feat, really, considering that, I've only been back playing just over probably 3-4 years from a very long layoff.
I mean, how special is that? Let's just recapture that. You made 18 147s. You've
Yeah,
not been beaten in the WDBS categories in all your tournaments, and you're now 39 in the seniors, ranked 39 in the seniors, and also with the new WDBS rankings, you're now ranked world number one for your category in the WDBS for the 2020-21 season. Nick, that's a remarkable story, and I often use you as an example to many others who are struggling in their game as to what can happen if we do the right things and understand how we not only see straight, but also how we learn to put that knowledge and expertise into our technique in our game. But what I'd like to ask you is, if there was one thing that you would tell players out there about SightRight and SightRight coaching. I mean, you're a coach yourself. You're now coaching a number of different people. What would you tell them?
well, the first thing is that, like, the theory of right leg and left leg online is an old that now. SightRight completely takes guessing out the equation. It gives you a line of consistency. In my experience, every time I got the cue out when I was left leg online, my snooker was like a pattern. One day it could be good, next day it could be bad.
Yeah.
Now using the right methods, I've got one consistency line of snooker, which is pretty good. I don't really have many. I mean, yes, we all have off days, but my off days when I was left leg online was awful. My off days when I'm the SightRight methods now, it's not awful. It's a consistency line of level because I'm not guessing. I'm going through. I always refer to the drill, that I've got a drill now, to a pre-shot routine to stick by, and it gives me that line of consistency without guessing, and that's what SightRight has done for me.
You wouldn't go back, would you?
Oh, impossible. It's impossible.
What I'd like to let people know is within our network now we have 25 or so international coaches, and for yourself, people can now find yourself online in our network and book coaching sessions with you, Nick. And that makes me really proud to think that when we look all those 3 or 4 years back, from a real struggle in your game to now achieving some really special things, I'd like to think that more and more people will now come and see Neale for the coaching experience that you have. You understand what it's been like to really struggle in the game, as did I once, and it's not very nice. To see you achieving such awesome things, it's quite emotional for me. It makes me feel really, really proud of you, but I know you know that. If there was one thing now more that you would like to achieve as a snooker player, what would it be?
I'd love to play a top professional in an exhibition. I'd love that in a best of 11s or best of 9s.
Right. Who's your favourite? Who would you like to play? You see, a little Dicky Bird's told me something. Who would you like to play?
To me, I mean, I've always looked up. I mean, Ronnie's a freak, so I wouldn't want to be sitting down in a chair. For me, I mean, like,
I know you mean that in a good way.
Growing up, I mean, I've always because left-handed snooker player and like the way he played with Jimmy White. I mean, to me, he's not. I ain't going to say he's a hero of mine because he isn't a hero, but for just to want to play somebody, I've grown up as a kid, and I'd love to play Jimmy over a best of 11s, and
Jimmy.
Yeah, I would do, but there's that many great players, Steve. I mean, you could name, Ronnie. I mean, Ronnie, like I say, he's just. I wouldn't want to just sit down and watch him pop balls all day. So at least
there are quite a few other pros that would say that too, Nick.
At least with Jimmy, I'm going to get a few more chances now because he ain't the player. So
Jimmy, he's liable. That will really focus him. Yeah.
Because it gives us them opportunities, and I've always dreamed, obviously, to get to a seniors event. I mean, I've already played at the Crucible through the WDBS, but as a perspective for myself, because in the 80s, I'm 47 now, so I was round about the time where Jimmy was in his heyday and watching all the great players and whatever. But just to play that man and think, bloody hell, that's another tick off the kind of bucket list.
Yeah,
would be nice.
You've just mentioned something to me. I mean, and listen, when we turn around and look at the WDBS, what an awesome setup now to give all people and to be all inclusive in the game, to have created an opportunity for someone like yourself to now and to have played at the Crucible. There are many professional players who will never make the Crucible, and you have played at the Crucible, and that's thanks to the likes of the WDBS. What did it feel like walking out into that arena?
Well, you're talking about emotions. My dad was there. My dad took me to all the junior events when I was a kid.
Yeah.
For him to be there, we always says that, it was our ambition as a professional snooker player to go out and walk out the Crucible, but to actually walk out there and have my dad there was very emotional. I really didn't show it because, you got taken away with the actual being at that arena. But to be fair, Steve, and this is gospel truth, the only time I felt nervous is when I was actually behind the curtain. When I actually got my name introduced and walked into the arena, I felt at one with myself.
You loved it, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a special moment. And when we look at the likes of Jason Ferguson, Nigel Mauer, and Matt Hewitt, and all the things they're doing in the WDBS, it's a real special credit to them that they're giving players like yourself that kind of opportunity. But you should be walking out there again, I guess, at the Crucible at some stage. You'll get another opportunity, I think, won't you?
Listen, I'd take it grasp it with both hands if the opportunity came up again. Obviously I got picked to play in Malta at the World Amateur, and that was an eye opener. So they have given me these opportunities to play, and I feel at home playing against the top amateurs and that, because I've always had the confidence in my game. You give me that confidence not when I first met you at SightRight, because I was all over the shop.
Hey, I've got my snooker cup here. Look, Nick, I remember the day.
Well, yeah, but like I keep reiterating, if you're willing to go through that stage of not really knowing where you are with your snooker, because you're changing that much, I urge everybody who has lessons to just persist with it, because you will get through the other side. I know for a
Yeah.
fact, and that's
It's a
fact.
huge transition that some people have to make. Some make it quicker than others. Some adapt to change very, very quickly. But you certainly did, and I'm really proud of you. And listen, I really applaud this player of the season is quite special. But everything else is quite special in terms of what you've achieved. What I think really encapsulates you is your love of the game at 15. You wanted to be a pro. You woke up in the morning wanting to be a pro. Disaster struck, but you never quit. And you know, you never quit at a game that you love. And now look at you, and that's a credit to you, Nick. That really is a credit to you. I'm really proud of you. So listen, I'm not going to take any more of your time. I'm going to say a really, really big, huge thanks for coming on our call. And yeah, we'll be back in touch with you very soon anyway, because of everything that's going on within our network. But I really appreciate you talking to me today, and a huge congratulations on your award yesterday.
Yeah, thanks very much, Stephen. I'd like to thank you again for helping me to where I am today in the game, and as a coach as well. And I look forward to seeing you soon, and everybody else. And wish everybody to stay safe.
Yeah.
And get through the other side of this lockdown and start playing snooker again.
And the clubs will open again, and we'll all be hitting the balls again. And but hey, look, you're a special guy. You stay safe, and love to all the family. Okay.
Yeah. All the best, Stephen.
All right. Take care, Nick. Bye.
All the best. Bye bye. Bye bye.